Hey everyone, David the Smash Fan here, and I'm going to give you my first ever manga review of a chapter, and this is going to be for Hayate no Gotoku, or Hayate the Combat Butler, chapter 553 that came out today. Hopefully you've read the chapter, you've read this series before. It's been going on for a while now. If you haven't, I suggest you read it, so you can get caught up on what's happening right now. So above all, let's go. So in this chapter, it kind of takes place right after Athena has talked to Hinagiku, sorry, I get her name mixed up, and I think it's Izumi, regarding, Hayate's feelings towards her and how he really, how Athena is very approving of the girls that like Hayate now, and basically stating that she doesn't see that Hayate loves her anymore in his eyes, like he did before. But anyway, so now they're preparing because Hisui now has the King's Jewels, and Himegami, who is Nagi's old butler, is with her and basically destroyed, Hayate at their first encounter. So we find out that there's an entrance that they most likely will use, and it's in the school in Hakuo Academy. So they're getting preparations done with Athena and I believe Izumi. The mangaka here, he uses the same kind of little jokes put in here where Hayate is like saying, we should get nuclear bombs from the Yakuzas and this, I think it was like MG42, something like that. So I always throwing those little jokes in there, even during serious times, just to kind of keep you kind of easy going all throughout. And basically they're just getting everything prepared here. Hayate, they ask Hayate to go back and bring some provisions and some food and stuff. And so we finally get to where he gets to the mansion, and there's Nagi and Chiharu-san. They're just kind of talking, and again there's this big misunderstanding where Hayate is saying, I'm doing this for your future, I'm going to do my best, and Nagi is still thinking, oh, he really is in love with me, and kind of getting embarrassed at that. Chiharu-san's like, yeah, way to go Nagi, getting such a great guy. And then finally, after so many chapters, you start seeing Hayate actually recognize that there's something going wrong, that there's this misunderstanding that's happening between him and Nagi. And he recognizes this when he sees the manga that she's been creating, that she says is from her own experiences, and he sees this panel where it looks like him and Nagi are very lovey-dovey, and so he's kind of questioning, this isn't what it is, right? He's kind of questioning and thinking, maybe it is, maybe it's not. And it's actually plaguing him while he's cooking the food for him, Athena, and Izumi. And then, there's this little part where they want to talk about Himegami and how he was as a butler, but they don't really go too much into it. And then the biggest part in this chapter comes at the very end where, excuse me, he walks with Chiharu-san to the apartment because it's on the way to the academy, and basically Chiharu is, saying I can't believe you guys, fell in love at first sight. It's something that I would love to experience myself, and also saying she'd like to write a light novel. That's what Nagi's inspiring her to do. And it keeps, right when Chiharu says it was love at first sight that you confessed to her on Christmas Eve, that's when light bulbs, finally go off in Hayate's head. And she keeps going into it, saying you're the one that told her I want you. And it's I didn't know you had that in you. And she keeps asking what do you like so much about Nagi? And finally, the misunderstanding is cleared up. He says, I didn't. This is the most important part in this chapter. He says, I didn't confess to her. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's and he says, I didn't confess to her. In fact, he finally reveals that he actually wanted to kidnap her. And at the very last, I think 3 panels, he says that's a misunderstanding about me loving her. And then you see the last panel, that's a part of one of the panels of Nagi's manga, and you see Hayate kneeling down and extending his hand to Nagi. And so now this huge secret, or this huge misunderstanding, is finally being cleared up with Chiharu, and they're all so surprised and blown away, because now it's going to change, how it might change a lot how they see Hayate, because you see Hayate wasn't a really good person in the beginning. He actually was going to kidnap Nagi to get money, to pay for the for the huge debt that he had from his parents. And now Chiharu's the first one to know. Now I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the next chapter, because I mean, I don't know how she's going to react. Like, she's going to be surprised. I think she's going to take it really hard too. She's going to, she's going to be obviously very upset with him, and obviously would want him to clear this up with Nagi. But then again, I kind of think they're going to maybe keep it hush-hush, because, Nagi has been so inspired in writing this manga. And I'm kind of hoping that they don't write it where he never says anything and he lets her believe it the entire time, because I don't think that's fair to Nagi, and I don't think that's fair to anyone else who's kind of fallen for him. I mean, I hope they don't do that. I hope that actually they do tell Nagi that she accepts it, and they move on. But I think what they'll do is this. I hope that they will finally choose a girl for him, that's not Nagi, and go from there. Honestly, my opinion is I still want Athena to be it, even though she stated that he doesn't have that look in his eyes about her anymore. But kind of, if you remember, like 200 chapters, 300 chapters ago, like when they met again in the Royal Gardens and they were splitting ways before she came back as Atan. If I remember correctly, I think they kissed again. And I know she hugged him, before she became little, the night before she became little. So, I mean, I still think that he does have feelings for her. I mean, we had the other, little love arc with the idol. I forgot her name, Sasaki. I can't remember her name. And that was kind of cool. Like, I kind of helped him realize that he's never really thought of love. And again, I think they're using that as an excuse, and hopefully, he can see that he can have love. And again, I hope he chooses Athena. Or actually, a close second, or almost my first, is Hinagiku, because she's awesome. But it's gonna be interesting how they do that, or even if they pair it at all. And this is the last arc, and hopefully it ends sometime early next year. And that it ends on a good note. Like, there's still a lot of loose ends we need to figure out, because honestly, like, Nagi's life is gonna hit a brick wall, because we have the revelation of Hayate, that him never really loving her in a romantic way, and then we also have Maria, who is leaving and quitting to be a maid. So the two biggest people in Nagi's life are gonna leave them in one way or another. Maria, physically, and Hayate is going to leave her emotionally, or this persona, or this illusion that she has of these feelings that he has for her. And so it's going to be really bad for Nagi. But I'm waiting to see how they're going to do this, or if at the end of the arc Maria decides to stay, or maybe they make Maria and Hayate become together, because they've worked so much, they worked so many days together, and they could have grown a love interest. I mean, granted, he was gonna use her, like, have her confess to him and then shoot her down, which is kind of messed up. But I think that he does have feelings for her. I think he has feelings for all the girls on some level, but he's just not letting himself be committed the entire way for them. Man, but freak, they have to have him pick a girl. I don't want any of this bullcrap anymore of them just resetting life or going back to the way things were and never talking about or having progression in this level. Like, I really think they need to address that and have that done. And what's interesting, like, this is over 500 chapters, and yet not even a whole year has passed. Granted, like, in the story, I believe there's like more than 100 chapters of like side stories of like funny stuff that's going on that's not relevant to the story. Maybe more than 100 chapters that the mangaka loves to do. But we'll have to see. Let me know what you guys think about this chapter. I'll hopefully reviewing it every week until it finishes. Let me know in the comments section below, or let me know what you think about the chapter. Honestly, I give it a good 8 out of 10. It was phenomenal that they finally revealed or cleared up this misunderstanding, at least with someone, and hopefully they'll clear it up with Nagi as well. But anyway, thanks for listening. This is David Smashman from Chibi Podcast. I am out.